let's talk about haichu. Welcome back to Sprung on Food. I'm your host, Kae Sprung. This season, we're talking about favorite foods, the history behind it, and the role it plays in the world today. Joining me today is comedian, actor, and writer Zavior Phillips. Zavior, welcome.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. Sorry, did my voice just crack? Did that?
No, and if it did, it was just out of excitement because
we'll restart.
You want to redo it again? Okay, no problem.
No. Keep it in. I like to be raw and vulnerable.
Okay, amazing.
That's who I am. I'm Zavior and my voice just cracked and I'm excited to be here. Thank you.
You're owning it and we're here for it. So Zavior, you're a very funny person. And I was very excited when you presented your favorite food, haichu, because it hasn't been chosen yet. Exciting. And, I don't know when the next person, you're not alone in loving this food, but I don't know when the next person who's going to select it's going to be. So this was a really great thing that I got to get all of our facts together. I can't wait for you to hear them all.
Yeah.
But I have to know all about your relationship with this food, why it's your favorite. Tell me all the things.
Yeah. I would say, the category of just kind of like chewy candy, kind of chewy fruity candy has always been my go-to. And I think my love for haichu definitely was like a college thing, because this was the first time I was like on my own, able to make some money, spend some money. And I lived across the street from this like little corner store and they had haichu there. And it was getting to a point where it was a daily occurrence of me getting a bag of haichu. And I also, if it's there, I'm like, well, I have to eat it or else I'm going to keep eating it. So I just need it gone. And it was a point where I was just eating a full bag of haichu on a daily basis, which wasn't the best, but that's okay.
Like how many? Yes, of course it's okay because you enjoyed it. End of story.
Exactly.
But how many pieces come in a bag? Would we maybe guess to say?
Too many to be eaten by one person in one day. Candy wise.
Okay. But you enjoyed them. Did you have a specific flavor that you gravitated to, or kind of like whatever was there?
I'm gonna be honest. It kind of was what they. I think that's one of the things. I was like, they all hit for me pretty hard.
Good.
I was pretty easy to please in that department. I think I also I was told from a young age that I have a like oral fixation. Like I chew on things. Like I'll chew on like pencils. I'll chew on. I sucked my thumb till I was 8 years old.
Hey,
very vulnerable.
This is a safe space. It's okay. You're safe here. Yeah.
And I think that's one of the things that I liked about haichu is it's a very like, it's a tougher chew. I think I enjoyed the activity of it as well.
Yeah, and I'm sure your dentist appreciated it too. They were like, this is much better than pencils.
They're like, this is good for business.
Oh, should that be part of their new marketing? Like get kids with oral fixations off of whatever it is, take a haichu instead?
Yeah, I think it worked, frankly. It worked for me.
Yeah. And how did you first discover haichu out of everything else that was in the store? Did you know about it, or were you just curious and picked it up? How did that happen? Do you remember?
I think because I was trying to think back about how our initial meet cute me and haichu. I think maybe the first time I ever had it actually was in high school. I had a phase where I was reading Naruto, as every high schooler does. And so I was kind of, my friends and I were kind of in that zone of like, oh, Japanese culture, reading manga and like, oh, what's this Japanese candy? Haichu, I think. I guess I haven't. Yeah. Okay, good.
Yeah, to me that would track. It's kind of entree into a little bit of a different culture, and you're like, hey man, I'm really into this. Maybe I also like the candy. Let's give it a shot and see what happens. And so you were hooked.
And did
you say every single day or once a week? You were eating it?
Well, it ebbs and flows. But there were some. Look, college is hard. you got some dark days and you need a full bag of haichu to get through.
Yeah.
Uh, so, midterms, finals week, yeah, it was probably a daily occurrence, but I would say probably average out to maybe like once a week.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. I think that's totally reasonable. And today, what's what's the frequency looking like today?
Look, I've tried to like, step back a little bit because again, I think with candy in general, I whenever it's there, I'm like, well, I have to eat it all right now. Um,
Okay. Okay.
so I've tried to be more aware of that vice and protect myself ultimately. But I would say
Okay.
every now and then, maybe like once a month now, I'll treat myself to some
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, beautiful. Yeah, so you have matured and grown with your relationship, but it still very much remains there. So
Every time I have
I'm
it, I
glad to
mean
hear it.
the romance comes back every time I have another one. And actually it probably
Oh,
is even more beautiful, because I'm able to appreciate it more versus just throwing them, you know, down.
oh, absence makes the heart grow fonder. I
Yes,
love it.
exactly.
Well, speaking of appreciating them more, to understand and appreciate our food, we've got to know where it came from.
Yes.
To know Haichu, we have to go back to Taichiro Morinaga, the man behind Morinaga Candy Company. Before the candy company, there was a young man with nothing but grit, curiosity, and a major sweet tooth he didn't even know he had.
Hmm.
Taichiro Morinaga was born in 1865 in Japan, and life did not deal him the best cards. Orphaned by the age of 7, he bounced around apprenticeships and odd jobs pottery, bookkeeping, sales, anything to stay afloat. But the dreamer in him never quite settled. In his early 20s, he made a bold move. In 1887, Morinaga left Japan for San Francisco, hoping to chase opportunity and more immediately pay off debts he'd racked up while trying to run a failing branch office back home. Let's just say things didn't go exactly to plan. Xavier, have you ever had any life plot twists that led you somewhere unexpected?
Yes, absolutely. It's kind of a long story, but my mother ran for Congress, kind of
Wow.
kind of out of the blue, because I we were always like politically engaged family, but never like no one ever was like holding office or like. And I was studying public policy in college, and so it was like again very like politically involved and everything. And my mom called me one day. She was a teacher at the time, and she was like, people in the community have been kind of like pushing me to maybe like run for something. I was like, oh, that's really cool. Like, you'd be great at that. Yeah, absolutely. And she's like, I think I might like run to be like a representative. And I was like, sweet. Yeah. Like to be in the state house, that'd be awesome. That'd be crazy. And then I get home from college and I see signs that say Mariah Phillips for US Congress. And I was like, what is this? And she was like, oh no, like House of Representatives, like DC. And I was like, okay, let's do it. And so I worked on that campaign I was the field director on that campaign. So I was in charge of like all the volunteers and I was helping with like the platform and speeches and doing door knocking and all the canvassing campaigns and all that stuff. And it was very fun and very exciting. And also made me realize that I don't think I want to work in politics. And so that is ultimately what led me to be like, oh, I really like this comedy stuff that I have going on. Maybe I'll give that a shot rather than moving to Washington, D.C. So that was a pretty big shift.
Yeah, so unexpected, but kudos to you for jumping right on board and helping fight the good fight
Yeah.
and getting into it. But then yes, lesson learned, hey, this is not for me. Checked it off the list.
Yeah.
But oh, yeah, that's a great plot twist. Well, for Taichiro, he opened a hardware store. It flopped. He
Mm.
battled racism, language barriers, and brutal market realities. But one tiny moment changed everything. Someone handed him a piece of candy. For Morinaga, it was more than a sugar rush, it was a revelation. Determined to learn how to make it himself, he tried to apprentice at American candy factories, but no one would take him. So he got in the door where he could. He became a janitor at one. By day, he mopped floors. By night, he observed, studied, practiced. He spent over a decade in the US absorbing the craft of Western confectionery like a sponge. By the time he returned to Japan in 1899, he wasn't bringing back just recipes. he was importing a new vision for how candy could sweeten the lives of Japanese people. His first product? Xavier, you want to take a guess of what his first product was?
His first product couldn't have been Haichu. He got it on the first try?
Oh, I wish he got it on the first try. No, but this man is very resilient. It was actually marshmallows. Yeah.
Whoa.
And his first storefront.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah. And his first storefront was a humble push cart, but his ambition off the charts. That year, he founded Morinaga & Co., a company that would eventually become one of Japan's big three confectionery manufacturers. Now, here's the cultural twist. Chewing gum, popular in the West, was not well received in Japan, not because of the taste or the experience, but because of etiquette. In Japanese culture, it's traditionally considered impolite to remove food from your mouth once it's been chewed. Spitting out gum in public, major faux pas. So, Morinaga came up with an idea. What if you could chew something like gum, but swallow it like candy? Enter a candy concept that would take decades to perfect. TAICHIRO Morinaga died in 1937 at the age of 72, but the company lived on. Xavier, what do you think of TAICHIRO's personal backstory?
Wow. I mean, legitimately, as you're describing that, I'm like, now we keep seeing all these movies about like, didn't they make like a Pop-Tart and like a Flamin' Hot Cheetos thing? I'm like, this is actually should be made into a movie. That's like an immigrant story, and like he was an orphan. I'm like, Lin-Manuel Miranda needs to write a musical about this. That is crazy and really cool, actually, and also makes so much sense. Like the marshmallow, and now thinking of it as a like in between of like a marshmallow and gum is actually crazy and makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and I'm very on board with this movie, documentary, music. Did you say musical?
I think, look, Lin-Manuel Miranda doing Hamilton. It's like, oh, this immigrant story. But look, I think we need one about Haichu. It's about time.
Yes. Okay, so we're putting that out into the universe. Somebody, or you, I mean, you're a writer. I will help produce this.
Copyright. No one else
on Broadway.
Yeah, trademarked. That's my idea.
Yeah. I mean, it happened here. There's proof. There's going to be a timestamp on this.
Yeah.
It's recorded. We're safe. Okay.
Cool.
Well, the company's early solution to TAICHIRO's idea was a candy called Chewlets, released in 1956. These chewy, fruit-flavored bits were the first iteration of Haichu. They weren't as soft or as flavorful as today's version, but they offered something revolutionary in post-war Japan. A gum-like chew without the taboo. Don't worry, that wasn't their slogan. Then in 1975, Morinaga & Co. released Haichu, a refined, improved version of Chewlets with better texture, stronger fruit flavors, and a now iconic double-layered structure. The name Haichu was chosen. Do you want to take a guess of what it stands for?
Chew part feels there, inherent. I'm trying to remember, what was his name? What was his name again?
TAICHIRO Morinaga.
Okay, so it's not that. Oh.
You're like, that didn't help me.
I don't know.
You want a lifeline?
Yes, please.
Okay. It was chosen to emphasize the experience, a high quality chew. It worked. Japanese consumers were immediately hooked. Not only did Haichu satisfy sweet cravings, it offered a sensory experience. Juicy, long-lasting, and unusually smooth for a fruit candy. It's gum adjacent, but also a little like taffy and somehow still its own thing. At this time, the Japanese candy market was exploding with innovation, new textures, new packaging, new flavor profiles, but Haichu stood out. So what makes Haichu Haichu? The secret lies in that dual layer structure. Each piece of Haichu is made of an outer chewy shell and an inner softer center. This allows the flavor to intensify as you chew, a signature trait that sets it apart from most Western candies where the flavor peaks and fades almost immediately. The ingredients are also carefully engineered to mimic the taste of real fruit, not just generically. Morinaga takes great care to localize flavors depending on the market. For example, Japanese flavors include lychee, muscat grape, and yuzu, while American flavors lean more toward mango, green apple, and strawberry. And how do they actually make this stuff? I'm glad I asked. The process starts with high-quality ingredients. Everything gets mixed together and cooked under a vacuum, which helps pull out the moisture and air. That's part of what makes haichu dense, smooth, and not grainy like some other candies. We won't name names. Then, once the flavor is added, the candy is shaped into long ropes, cooled down, and cut into bite-sized pieces. What's really cool is the dual layer format. The outside and inside layers have different textures and sometimes even different flavors. That's why you get that buildup of intensity as you chew. Then every piece is individually wrapped, not just for freshness, but to keep it from sticking to everything. As demand for haichu exploded outside Japan, Morinaga had to think bigger. In 2015, they opened a massive manufacturing facility in North Carolina to supply the US. That one factory alone now pumps out over, do you want to take a guess, how many pieces of haichu the North Carolina factory puts out for the US?
Okay. I'm so bad at guessing things like this. And you know when they have like a jar and they're like, how many jelly beans? And it's like full, and I'm like, 7? Okay. 7 million.
Okay, well, by Price is Right rules, you would win, but it's actually 2 billion with a B pieces of haichu every year.
Oh my God.
Yes, have faith in your candy.
So much more than
Well, it's very on brand to your guessing strategy, so
Yeah.
why change now?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Well, 2 billion pieces a year, and they're not stopping. In 2024, Morinaga broke ground on a second facility at the same site with a $136 million investment and plans to add 200 plus new jobs. That means more haichu for everyone. So, how many flavors are we talking about here? Okay, I know guessing isn't your thing, but do you want to guess how many haichu flavors? This is your chance to redeem yourself, Zavior.
Yeah. No, better.
How many haichu flavors there have been released worldwide since 1975? You can let your imagination run wild.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. There's nothing floating. It's like a beautiful mind, except nothing's happening in front of me.
There's nothing there. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna put worldwide since 1970. Like, that information isn't gonna help me. I'm gonna say 34.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, again, on brand and by Price is Right rules, you win. But according to Morinaga, it's over 200.
What? I was like, surely, like, regionally, I was like, each continent gets like 7. You know what I mean? I think also
well, that doesn't seem too fun.
also it's bad math.
Well, these include core staples like grape, strawberry, and green apple, as well as regional or seasonal exclusives like ume, Japanese plum, dragon fruit, passion fruit, yubari melon, and cola. Now, if you were to, don't worry, I'm not asking you to guess anything, but if you were to create your own flavor, what would it be?
Oh, wow. This is a very good question. If I were to create, there's some flavors that you're like, I only like it like in a certain form. Like, I really like apples, but like apple flavored candy is never my favorite, A kiwi, I feel like, would be really good. Do they have a
Oh,
kiwi?
that's nice. Very refreshing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pina colada?
Love it. Maybe it's already part of the 200. Who knows? 200 is quite a lot.
Yeah. I mean, who knows, I guess. Someone knows for sure.
Now, after launching in Kohl's supermarkets in Australia in 2020, Haichu's original mix became the 3rd best-selling peg bag candy in just a few months.
Wow.
Meanwhile, in New Zealand, Haichu tripled its sales from 2017 and captured a 2.2% market share in the sugar confectionery market, even outperforming Skittles and Mentos. In today's global snack economy, Haichu holds a unique place. It's both nostalgic and novel, global and local. With new product formats like Haichu Bites and Haichu Sours, the brand keeps evolving to meet modern tastes. So what started as one man's mission to create a socially acceptable alternative to chewing gum in Japan has turned into a global phenomenon. Haichu is more than candy. It's a bridge between cultures, a sensory experience, and honestly, a low or high-key obsession. Should I address the fact that you're in a new space to like?
I think it's fine to address. Look, we opened this on vulnerability.
Yes.
And
okay.
Yeah, my Wi-Fi was bad where I was, and now I've moved, and that's okay and beautiful. Even that now, and I get to share another space.
Oh,
Um,
yes, thank you. This is almost like HGTV. Thank you for, or like MTV Cribs. Thank you for
yes,
taking us to the different parts of your home. This is
of
great.
course,
We all get a deeper dive into your life. So that's really
exactly.
beautiful.
That's what
And
it's all about.
thank you. And while you're sharing your space with us, what do you think about the backstory of Haichu?
Yeah, I think it's actually really cool. I am surprised, honestly. I don't think of it in my head as like such a mainstream, like popular thing for the like. I feel like when I talk to friends about like their favorite candy, like no one ever says Haichu. But hearing about its like popularity and that it is so big, I guess, well, yeah, was surprising to me. But also good, cool, and good, and they deserve it all.
Yeah, have you ever tried those other variations, the sour ones or
I've had the
the
sour
bites?
ones. I've had the
Okay.
sour ones. I prefer the normal ones to the sour ones, but I think those like fruity, because the fruit flavor in them is, I think, better than all other like fruit flavored candies, especially like I feel like American candy that has like fruit flavor always feels like it is flavored. Like it tastes
Mhm.
like the like syrup of like a snow cone or something versus taking like the actual fruit, which I think Haichu does a better job at.
Yeah, it's one of the things that they pride themselves in, getting that flavor precise
Yeah.
and not just a general like it's strawberry adjacent.
Yeah.
They want it to taste like strawberry.
Yeah.
So, okay, so apparently one of their number one fans, they're nailing it. This is great.
Doing a good job. Keep it up.
Well, with a candy with such a huge level of fandom, it's certainly made its way into pop culture. Haichu has become a favorite among MLB players, leading to several official partnerships, like the Los Angeles Dodgers. In 2015, Haichu became an official partner of the Dodgers, stocking the dugout with candy and offering fan giveaways during the home games. Haichu's also partner with the Chicago Cubs, Minnesota Twins, Los Angeles Angels, St. Louis Cardinals, Detroit Tigers, and Milwaukee Brewers, providing candy in dugouts and engaging fans with on-site activations. And celebrities? They're just like us. Several have publicly expressed their fondness for Haichu, like Heidi Klum, who's mentioned that strawberry Haichu is a household fave. John Mayer shared on Instagram that Haichu is his weakness, particularly the mango flavor. I could see him writing a love letter song titled Your Candy is Wonderland, stay tuned. And everyone's favorite Ken, Ryan Gosling, praised Haichu in an interview saying, I think they may be the best candy going, with his preference being green apple and grape. And in 2024, Haichu introduced a new mascot named Chewbie to appeal to younger audiences. Chewbie made appearances in various marketing campaigns, including a planned segment on Jimmy Kimmel Live and a digital billboard takeover in Times Square. Xavier, do you know about this Chewbie mascot?
I have no. This is news to me, but oh boy, am I going to find out more about this Chewbie map.
Okay, I'm going to send you a link in a second so that you
Okay.
can see, but I would like you to paint a picture in your mind's imagination of what do you think that this character looks like just based on the name?
Okay. I'm seeing whiskers.
Okay.
I'm seeing kind of like, okay, it's kind of like a square shape. And because I'm like, obviously, probably like the white on the outside, but then like a hat that represents kind of like the color on the inside, you know? So I'm seeing
Oh.
kind of thing like the square kind of thing, short legs. Uh, like a yellow hat, whiskers. I'm seeing overalls is what I'm getting
Okay.
in kind of my crystal ball that I'm looking at.
Okay.
So I'm excited to see how that fares with the real Chubby.
How fantastical. Okay, well, I'm about to send you this link so
If
you
it's
can
just like
see.
a guy in a trench coat, I'm gonna be mad. Hey, I had some stuff there.
So do you want so for the people who are listening as a podcast and not video, do you
Yeah.
want to describe what the actual Chubby looks like?
Okay, so the body be looking like Haichu and kind of that, you know, oval orb kind of vibe is correct. It was white on the outside, was yellow on the inside, but it wasn't in the hat. It was in the face. So you see the face is yellow to represent the inside. And he's wearing a blue hat. Also short legs, wearing some blue shoes, which aren't overalls, but I was picturing blue overalls. So I got the color scheme
Yeah.
absolutely correct.
Yeah.
I didn't envision his arms to be that big and long. I think, picturing kind of shorter arms because he's got some pretty big, thick forearms. I'm gonna be honest,
Okay.
just for the listeners. No, but yeah, I'm actually fairly proud of myself. No whiskers,
Yeah.
no whiskers.
No whiskers.
Missed
And you,
opportunity.
yeah, yeah. Maybe if they do another draft of it, they can include I'm just curious. Or when you say whiskers, are you talking about like cat whiskers? Or are you talking about like little beard like whiskers? Like
Like
what was in
cat.
your mind's eye?
I was
Oh,
seeing kind of cat whiskers,
okay.
and those are like nowhere to be found on
Sure.
TV.
Right.
But we all make mistakes.
Yeah, yeah. This is their first pass. So he was just introduced. They were just, well, I'll say they were just introduced because according to Haichu, Chewbie is a plump, ambiguous character who is meant to embody the Haichu experience. The mascot speaks its own language known as Chulish.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. Do you
Hmm.
what?
You can Google Chulish, Chewbie, Haichu, whatever you want. And there's like a small little clip of it's very, very it's kind of in the same vein for people who have not see it and are not curious enough to Google it. It's kind of in the same vein, a little bit of like a minion.
Right.
It kind of is a little bit like that. So there's like a semblance of a language, but it's kind of gibberish. So
Okay.
yeah.
Are there? I mean, and you might not know. Are they planning on like? Because if they're speaking language, theoretically, someone can understand. Are they planning on introducing more characters in the cinematic universe so that they can speak to each other, or is this just?
Oh, I wish I had that insider intel, but doesn't that just sound fun and whimsical?
I'm
I think okay, so what are we doing? We are creating
writing a musical.
the musical for Broadway of the story of TAICHIRO Morinaga.
Mhm.
And then there's going to be now it's got to be an animated series, obviously,
Yeah.
because Chubby's animated. So then we're going to do an animation of Chubby and Friends. I don't know. That's just a
Yeah.
working title, but
I like it.
okay.
I think there's a lot of good stuff here.
Okay. See, this is how ideas are made. You're welcome. Hi to call us. Obviously, you have to because we
Yeah.
own the rights now. So,
We do.
Yep, it happened here. Any final words you have about your favorite food?
I mean, I've learned a lot today about. I think I've been taking it for granted. I was just like, oh, this is a very good food, and every time I have it, I enjoy it and love it. And I think I haven't been giving it the respect it deserves, knowing the story now. So I genuinely think it's been very cool to learn more about it. I thought I was alone on an island and being cultured and unique, enjoying this, different candy, but apparently the world loves it as well, and that's okay.
Yeah, now you have community. There's strength in the
Yeah,
numbers.
yeah,
You can start a fan club. You
exactly.
can do meetups. You can,
Community. No, I
oh,
tried. I tried.
trademark that one though too. It's got to be, I mean, it's got to be a part of one of these two projects
Yeah.
that we've got coming out in the near future. So I like the enthusiasm.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, Xavier, thank you so much for sharing your love of Haichu and helping me to tell its story.
Yeah, thank you. This was really cool. It was really cool to hear all this.
Thanks for watching. You can find links and more info in the description below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. See you next time.